Alrighty guys, as the here bringing us another Dragon Ball Legends TOP videos. This one's going to be a little bit of a bad news for me, right? Good news for you guys, right? So I ended up using an event exclusive team right here, and it did not work out so well for me, as you're going to see from the rest of the video. That's obviously from the title, right, saying that you should not use this team in TOP unless event exclusive does pertain to minions. It does pertain to the pool force, and if you're using a combination of those two teams, then by all means go ahead and go for it. But I wanted to go ahead and see the kind of teams that I could possibly make using the event exclusive tag, using them as a whole and not just force into a sub tag of it, right? And so we can actually go ahead and look at my team and go through them and my impressions of them after using my first 13 TP. So we got Gotenks. Gotenks actually did pretty solid. I'm not gonna lie, he actually did pretty solid in terms of tanking, and his key restore speed is definitely on the lower end, and I wish his damage was a little bit better. But overall, I wasn't too dissatisfied with him. Both of the yellow Legends Road units right here, the Piccolo, he provides support for Legends Road tag. He's really good. He actually heals himself as well. And the Kid Goku, I was really happy with him too, just because the Kid Goku, he uses his green card, meaning that if a blast card gets used against him, he's able to deflect it, and he's basically able to mitigate that damage, right? I think he did pretty good as well. The Super Saiyan Blue Goku, the free-to-play one, I think he has the best kits out of all of them, but his damage is just so lackluster. The reason why I brought him on mainly is because he is a healer. At the end of the third turn or the second turn, I forget which, he does heal the 3 blocks ahead of him, right? The whole row ahead of him. And, you know, I definitely did value that, and I wanted to prioritize that. That's why I brought him in. Now, we take a look at the Instant Transmission Goku, another unit that has damage mitigation in terms of he can use his Instant Transmission on strike cards. So more damage mitigation, the better, right? Because the way this game mode works, it favors the amount of damage that you avoid, right? That's what's going to give you those juicy points, is if you're avoiding all that damage. Blue Cyberman, I don't really think I need to go into detail on him. He gets those blue cards so damn quickly. He's guaranteed to get a blue card every single fight. It just sucks because this Blue Cyberman is miles and miles better on the minions team, just because you have better Z abilities being distributed throughout, right? Because with the Legends Road, they don't have the best Z abilities, but they're Zenkai buffing Legends Road units at the very least. That's why they create that synergy together, but they're not going to be... I wish they would actually just Zenkai buff event exclusive characters instead, but I guess that might be a little bit too broken in other scenarios, like when you look into PvP. You have the Purple Cyberman, who I unfortunately let die way too early, but other than that, his support is still good. It just, you're taking away from that Z ability. Ideally, I only wanted one unit at a time to be taking away from the Z ability, because these guys, the Cybermen, are not buffing event exclusive. Everyone else on this team is buffing event exclusive, the tag in general, right? And then this Trunks, man, this Legends Road Trunks was so damn bad, and I really wish I would have brought the Super Saiyan 2 Blue Goku in instead. But, you know, I wanted to prioritize the fact that he is in Z tier, and I heavily regret it. So if you do run this team, he is definitely one of the units that you have to replace. This guy was just so bad. I brought him in like 2 times, or 2 or 3 times, and then he died. It was pretty bad. So that being said, let's go ahead and like look through these matches. Actually, I have this at a triple speed right here. So going into this first stage right here, we have the Z3, right, which was the one onto the right, because I wanted to go ahead and I wanted to line it up with the right-hand side. And we have Shisami, we go after first. We got the Red Frieza, or the Purple Cooler, who go after second, and then the Red Frieza. There's no one too big of a threat right here, right? So I'm more than fine. You can kind of just wing this. I'm trying to just get a feel for the team right here. Alright, so that was the first match right there, and you can see I didn't take too much damage, like, at all. We actually did pretty good. And so once again, I'm sticking to the right here, and I ended up choosing between these 2 stages. I ended up going for this stage with Goten on it, which might be a little bit controversial, right? Just because Goten does have that blue card, that guaranteed blue card. So I'm going to bring in red right here. I have the setup where I have the Purple Cyberman, and then I bring in the Blue Cyberman as well, I do believe. I'm not too sure if I change it up. I'm still kind of, like I said, I'm still getting a feel for this team right here. Obviously, Goten is going to be the one to get targeted first overall. Well, let's see what I do here. So I'm still switching up my team. I'm kind of like looking at the key restore speed right here, right? That's what I did when I'm like filtering the Z tier to resetting, is I'm looking at the key restore speed, seeing who's going to attack first. Either way, I had to attack Goten first, and then after that, or I think, okay, so instead right here, I think I end up attacking a purple unit first because my purple units are going to attack first, and I'm just praying that we have enough damage to go through right here, right? So I want, ideally, an ideal world, and I think I was overestimating my units a little bit too much here. I go for Trunks first, hoping to kill him in the first turn as well as the Goten, and I was just praying that I had enough damage here. And we actually get, like, pretty close to killing him. Right, oh, we actually do kill the Trunks, but it's not, we don't have enough key restore speed to actually go ahead and kill the Goten before he gets a super attack off, so he does get that off, and he didn't do too much damage, surprisingly, right, because it's not a full hybrid setup, so I was actually still fine with this. It still sucked. Don't get me wrong, it still sucked that I took that, but, you know, it wasn't necessarily all bad right here, so we're still going to get out of this 5th stage with a good amount of points, right, and then this stage is incredibly easy. A little mixture of androids and Ginyu, so I'm still like big chilling right here, but there's like a certain point in the video where everything just absolutely goes downhill really badly, right? So once again, I'm like choosing my layout right here, right? I have Gotenks in one of the health restoration spots. I have the Kid Goku in one of the health restoration spots as well. That way they can heal up a little bit more. I'm bringing in 2 purple, or I'm bringing in just the 1 purple. I'm bringing in the blue Cyberman because I want to get as much from his blue cards as possible. The yellows, I think, they work really good together. Like I said before at the beginning of the video, there's 2 purples right here, and I think those are the stages you want to focus more. If you're using this kind of team right here, you want to focus on your strengths, and so going after these matches that have multiple purples in it is incredibly valuable for you, right? So you see me going after Ginyu first because I know my 2 yellows are now going to attack first. There's not anyone on here that's too dangerous in terms of like they're going to get a blue card, so I easily take out Ginyu right there, and then I go after Recoome because he's a little bit more on the tanky side, and you know, I'm a little bit scared of his damage. Then we take out this other purple right here, get our blue card off, and you know, things are looking pretty good right here for the most part. And all we got to do is deal with this Android, what is this, Android 14, right? Android 14. Another easy fight. Things are still looking good. We're still looking healthy right here. So I actually am very confident. And then you have a repeat fight, so I do the same thing. I kind of just changed the layout, right? Because we just get an extra layout bonus right here. I end up just doing this. Doing the same attack order. Go for the purple first, then I go for Recoome. And, you know, things end up going pretty good for me, I would say. Right, once again, this is where we're still chilling. And that's why I actually have hope for this team. And as I said, I don't really recommend this team. You might as well just use a full Minions team, a full Cyber Squad, a full Pool Force. But for the most part, man, like it may sound weird, but I want to use this team again. And it's not over just yet, but I do want to use this team again if I fail in getting into the top 25% this season. I feel like I have to. Like, I owe it to you guys to get this, because it's a free-to-play team. This is where things start getting bad. On this stupid GT team, bro. This GT team was so hard for me to get by. I needed more red units. Like, straight up, I needed more red units. I needed stronger red units because this instant transmission Goku just was not making the cut. And you could see right here that my blue Cyberman, he's on the verge of getting his blue card. He's going to get it because he gets that 30% right off the bat. So I wanted to target Maju first, I believe. I think I target Maju first, and then I go for Omega, hoping that I can take out Maju before my blue Cyberman attacks, because keep in mind, blue Cyberman has a really low key restore speed, so he's always attacking at the end of your units, right? He's basically the last one to attack. So you can see right here, Maju gets targeted first, and then Omega, then Baby, and then, you know, the rest and so forth. But this one was so difficult for me. You're gonna see right here in this first turn, this is where things start going downhill for me. Like, you can see him go downhill for me. So I can't kill Maju right here, and you know, it sucks too, because I wasted the blue card on Majub. But one of the main reasons why I couldn't kill Majub too is because that Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku inflicted with me with Can Attack on the Gotenks, on the base form Gotenks, and if he wouldn't have done that, I would have been able to get the blue card freely off on the what's it called, the Omega Shenron right there. So you can see I took a lot of damage, especially on my red unit. So I'm like, okay, we can recover from this. This is going to be an easy fight as well. Right, so I set up my team formation right here. I'm like, okay, well, let me get some hills off. If I get some hills off, I'm gonna be okay. There's the spaces right here. You can see on the board, there's spaces where you get an extra cover cut. So I'm like, let me put some of these guys on there. Let me heal them up a little bit, and I think we'll be all right with this setup right here. I have the purple Cyberman set up where he's only buffing my other purple unit, and he's buffing the Gotenks. And so it's definitely not the ideal situation, I believe, but you know, it is what it is. I have to work with what I got, right? And so once again, I'm looking at their key restore speed. I'm seeing that basically my yellow units and my purple unit have the highest key restore. And you know, the way it works is that I know my formation is that my 2 yellows are going to attack first, because I do think they like buff their key restore, or they just have higher key restore. That Gogeta gets targeted first though. He's the biggest threat. The Super Gogeta, the green one, he does get a blue card. So you do see me go after him first. You're going to see my 2 yellow units attack first, and they immediately take him out. So I'm actually pretty happy with that outcome right there. And then for the rest of the fight, you can just see the team kind of like start to struggle a little bit, right? Just a little bit. It goes all the way up to turn 4. Like, these guys are more tankier than I expected. But we are getting some blue cards off, and it goes to the 4th turn, and there's still 2 units alive. So I'm like, oh, I have to kill these guys. Thankfully, I do kill everyone right there. Right, I am able to go ahead and get the kill, get the 12 million points. And then, again, this is where things start going downhill. Because I'm like, oh god, this android space. I don't have enough damage on my purple units. I have 2 purple units, but the units that you want to bring onto this android stage, I think that you have to prioritize more so is red units. So once again, coming back to it, I needed more red units on my team overall, because this red unit is not cutting it, because red is the only free one right here, right? Because usually they'll have the Super 17 and they'll have another yellow unit. I mean, you can bring purple, you can bring purples here, but that's, dude, that 17 can be very, very dangerous. But you see me bring in 2 purples. I bring in the blue. I think I swap out the blue Cyberman. I'm not too sure. We'll actually go ahead and wait to see what I do right here. But you can see I'm having it where I'm buffing the block above me, below me, to the left, and to the right of me with that purple Cyberman. And my first priority, or one of the highest priorities here, is I want to take out this cell first, because my yellows are attacking first. There's no point in attacking the red right out the gate. And then I go for the Super 13, because he gets a blue card on the 3rd turn. So I think the first turn goes out pretty well. Like, the cell goes down pretty easily, right? And then I start working on the Super 13, which is more than fine. But we are taking a whole lot of damage right here. And one of my biggest miscalculations here is I think I do get supered by the yellow 17, or the yellow, or I'm not too sure. Not in this one, maybe. Maybe we'll see. Well, yeah, right here. So look at, I got supered by that stupid TOP 17. He got his gauge up somehow, right? Because I know he gets 50% to his gauge, but I did not think he was going to be able to get the entire super attack right there. So that's where I ended up dying. And then once again, I have this stupid GT stage. So you guys can tell this is basically the downfall of Azteek right here, right? This was the downfall of Azteek, and I was so sad, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I was so sad, but I don't like to give up, right? Even if I don't get into the top 25%, I probably will use this team again and make it there. Like, straight up. I feel like I have a chance here. If I get, you know, I come back, I have more knowledge on the team, I can do better. But this GT team is completely, like, stumping me right now. Like, I want to avoid this team at all costs. And you have both Shadow Dragons on here now, so you're going to have double mitigation. The Ultra Omega is so good on here. Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku is so good on here. It's so frustrating, bro. And so, once again, I really don't know how to approach this, like, at all. But I know I need to heal. Like, my units are leaking really, really badly. So once again, I target Majub, and then I go for Omega. And probably not the best thing. I'm not gonna lie. And I kind of I skip it. I skip it, and I'm like, damn. And I skipped because I was just like, YOLO it. I know this is going to be a rough stage for me. And it still did so much damage, bro. And we didn't even get the full kill. We didn't get the kill on ice. So, very rough indeed. And then I end up going for this stage right here. And then I miscalculate once again. Right, so you see me, I put in this Trunks, and you could see how much damage this Trunks took, right? That was the first fight that he put him in. Right? That was the first fight I put him in, and look how much damage he took. I ended up going for this 3/5 stage as kind of like a cooldown stage, because I was like, I know I'll get through this one easily, right? Especially because there's 2 purple units, right? I can bring my 2 yellow units and be absolutely okay, and I'm kind of like just scouting out the board right here. I'm like, screw it, I'm going to do this stage right here, and then I'll go for a harder stage on my 10th win, so I can get that win streak bonus. So I just do this. Once again, I'm doing some more healing. We go into the fights. I think I target a purple first, and then I go for baby. Yep. Then 21, and then the blue 21. Both of the 21s, basically. And this fight, like, this was a 3/5 stage, right? So I didn't expect this one to be difficult at all. Everything goes according to plan. We take out 2 units on that very first turn. Things could not go better than that. And then everyone kind of just follows suit. Everyone kind of just goes down relatively easily, right? You see the damage mitigation coming out right here as well. And we clear them out on the 3rd turn, which is ideal. Right? We still get a good amount of points too. 1 million is not bad. And you see this GT team again, bro. I talked about this GT team in the guide video, right? And I hate that GT team, man. I absolutely hate that GT team. It's so annoying. So I opt for this one. Again, I know I probably should have just went for the higher 5th stage and just got as much points as possible. But I was trying to salvage the run as much as I possibly could. Right, that's why you're seeing me, like, I'm trying to, like, strategize, like, my future routes. I end up going for this stage, right, because, like, once again, 2 purple units, right? So I'm like, okay, well, there's gonna be 2 purple units. Let me go ahead and just bust out my 2 yellows, and I want to bring in my red unit here. I should have brought in my red unit. If I didn't bring in my red unit, then it's probably just because I was tilted and I wasn't making the right decisions here. Right, I think that's an issue that I had as well. Like, I was kind of getting frustrated. And you can see this is where I messed up really badly. And another thing that I messed up really badly on is that I thought both of my blue units were going to be able to get their super attacks off. Here, right? So I get my super attack with my blue Cyberman. He gets the first life out of the way. And my Trunks barely... Look at how much... Look at him. The stupid Trunks, he had his super attack and he didn't use it, bro. It's not that he didn't use it. It's just that he was like 2% off of using it. Like literally like 2% off of using it. And I was so frustrated, and it kind of destroyed this whole run as well, because the Piccolo, the LF Piccolo, was able to get his rush off too. Or not his rush, his blue card. And so I was like, oh my god, well, there goes my team. And so at this point, I'm like, I had to do a suicide run. I have to reset. Right? I have to just die. And we go across this stage, which actually is an easy stage, finally. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to kind of just keep going, just do the most difficult stages until I die. And so that's basically what I do for the rest of the run right here. Overall, I didn't have the best time. But the season is not over. I'm just going to go ahead and try and die. For the next part, I'm going to just try and reset. Try to get as much done as possible. But it's just... Oh, this season was really, really rough for me. That GT team, I just did not have an answer for. If you're watching this... and you're watching the mistakes that I'm making, just try your best not to make the same ones. If you don't have a clear answer for that GT team, maybe just avoid it, because it is so damn difficult. And so at this point, I'm just expecting to die. I'm not even watching the fights. I'm just like, I'm literally like going into these fights. I'm like, just kill me, dog. Like, truly, just kill me. Like, I think I still switch up my formations, but I'm truly like, please just kill me, dog. Right, and then another androids team right here. You got the 2 yellows, the 3 greens, right? 3 greens and 2 yellows. That's why that androids team is so annoying. Why they're so frustrating, because you can't just overload with purples, because for the most part they're gonna have 1 or 2 yellows. You also need some reds. You need reds and purples for this. My red doesn't do enough damage, and my purples are not doing enough damage either. So we still end up winning it. And once again, I'm surprised. So I'm like, bro, just kill me. Like, I'm literally sitting here. I'm just like, just kill my units. And I probably could have done a better job of like dying faster, just by I could have put more of my dead characters on the board, right, instead of having these healthy alive ones, right? So I can go ahead and just lose easier. But I'm just like, okay, well, let me just keep going. So 2 units are now dead here. I only have 3 units left to me, and that basically wraps it up for this run. That's 13 RP right there. I end up in rank 3000, right? Rank 3000. Honestly, I'm like, is there still hope for this? I will go and check the ranking reward, and I'm still in the top 25%, but I don't think that's going to remain towards the end of the season, right? So still top 25%. Not bad. Not terrible, absolutely, but it's still pretty rough overall. So once again, I'm going to have to reiterate, I do not advise using this team. If you're going to use an event exclusive team, quote unquote, just go with the minions or the pull force for now. But this team does have a future. Like, once we get, like, if we had a Zenkai for that instant transmission Goku, I think things would be a lot better. If I had the Legends Road or the Great Saiyaman. If the Great Saiyaman, the purple one, he had his Zenkai, I think it would be a lot different of a run as well. Like, it's coming along. I think eventually it will be a solid team for this, and that you will be able to use this successfully in TOP. But as of right now, they're a little lackluster. The season is not yet over. We're going to still keep trying, and I do want to push this team all the way to the end in that top 25%. So that being said, that's all I have for you for this video. Stay tuned for the next one to see if I actually do make it in there. And then, you know, as always, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later!